Good morning. I'm laughing because Gout is in the room with us today. So I had to kind of position myself in a different part of the art studio, but that's kind of fun. You guys get to see all the different angles. So this tree behind me right here is a fiddle fig tree that was so small, and I got it, I think, I don't even know where I got it. It's probably like 10 years old. And it was in our living room, and it can be fickle or not fickle, but I have decided that it likes indirect bright light, and I water it kind of randomly, to be honest. I'm not the best keeper of my plants, but they all grow really well here. And anyway, so it was in the living room, and the living room's only a certain height. Well, back there in the corner, it's really high, and so it's just going crazy. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I might have to actually start to cut it down. I'm hoping it grows into the shape of a heart. All right, well, maybe I should get started. I have so many ideas and things to chat with you guys about today. And first off is, right now, what's growing in my garden is one of my favorite things ever, okay? And I've been posting it on my Instagram stories, which I think, woo, how are these are amazing. This also is on, I think, the Facebook stories too. Okay, so if you live near me, like Leslie and a bunch of others, Heidi, you see these all over the place. These are called Echium, and they're also known as Pride of Madeira. And when I first visited San Francisco 25 years ago, they're all by, I went to go see Robin Williams' house. Don't ask me why, I just happened to be near his area, and I saw this street, and it was covered with these plants, and I was like, oh my God, that plant is like the most amazing thing ever. And so I grew a couple seeds. You didn't even have to, they're like weeds here. But I ordered them from Annie's. You guys have heard me talk about, I'm gonna try and find that catalog because I just got a new one. Annie's annuals, which I love. And I love to cut this up. Annie, I hope you're not listening, but Annie's annuals, I ordered them. And they have multiplied and multiplied and multiplied, but I have to tell you a funny story. It's not actually funny, too funny. Do you see this blue one? All right, this is blue as you can get. This is not a normal one. This is, I think, a hybrid fancy pants one. And I bought this from Annie's and some of these, but this was like really awesome. So one day I came home from work when I was working, I don't know where, in Oakland or Berkeley, and I was here, and I would come back, and my husband would like cut down so many things without me knowing. He cut them all down. I was so pissed. Can I say pissed? I was so mad, mad. So anyway, I just found a couple of these little ones, so I have a feeling that one of the seeds kind of did its job. But aren't they so pretty? And these are also growing wild right now too. So I wanted to show you, I try to show you every week, something beautiful in my garden, and that is just absolutely gorgeous. These are all in a back road that we have. So you've got all the Echium, and then you have all of these in between, and the hummingbirds are going crazy, and the bees. So anyway, hi Donna. I just wanted to share that with you guys. It only lasts, like I'd say, in another month, they'd start to do its thing and go back to being green. But if you are driving around the coast, this is the time that they're all beautiful. Okay, so I wanted to chat with you guys about a couple things. And one of them is something that happened to me last week. And I'm like, that's a really good thing to talk about on our live. So I can't decide if I'm going to sit down or not. Okay, so I was trying to figure out what to do for the Zoom class. And I spent literally, I think, 8 hours last week or Tuesday coming up with what can I do for the Zoom class. And I had this one idea. I'll show you my first. First was I did this. And I was like, oh, it's so pretty. And I spent all this time working on it. And I sent it to my mom, and I sent it to Renee. And they both are like, well, it kind of looks like the last one, but it's cute, but it looks like the last one. And I was like, oh yeah, it looks too much like the last one. And I really want the Zoom classes to be different every time. So once a month, something, you know, just different and different supplies and stuff. So anyway, so I put this one down. And so then I was like, okay, well, what can I do? And I decided, okay, I am going to do something with inks and skewers. All right. So I was trying to rack my brain. And meanwhile, my 14-year-old said, I went to take my kid to the golfing range. And this is what I mean by when an idea comes to you. This is sort of like the process of the idea. Okay. So I have this little book in my purse at all times. It's a notepad. And I had this idea that I was going to use the skewer. And I don't know if you can tell, but it's just a really rough sketch. And I was in Staples getting our collage sheets made, which I'm going to show you at the end for the garden party. And I was standing in line, and the guy said, oh, it's going to be like 15 minutes. So I just stood there and with my pen, and I had this awesome idea in my head. And I was going to do acrylic inks and a beautiful heart and all of these beautiful things. And I could see it in my head exactly what I wanted to do. And I was so excited. I did the design. I got Lukey in the car, and I told him all about this experience. I said, hey, Lukey, like he couldn't care less. And I said, I've got this idea. I'm so happy because I spent 3 hours on something that's not going to work. I get home. I go right to work on this idea. Okay, this is what I call ugly art. All right? And it's ugly, and don't say it's not, because it's okay. I'm going to show you what things we can do with it. So I started creating this heart. It's a mess, you guys. Really, it's a true mess. I could not for the life of me get it the way I wanted to that was in my head. And the reason why I want to share some of my ugly art with you is because I really want you guys to know that every single artist that you follow or that you like, or like people who are getting paid millions of dollars for their artwork, make ugly art. And I think it's important that we all know it. I call it ugly because it just goes into the ugly pile. So anyway, so I was like, okay, the heart is not going to work. Even though I really want it to work, it's just not happening. So I went to another idea with the skewer still. And did I sketch that one down? I sketched it really quick. I had this idea that I was going to take the ink and the skewer and go around, and I did this little quick sketch, which you might not be able to tell at all what that is, but this was going to be, whoopsie, all the ink. All right, so I set to work, and I created, this looks like a cake dome or something. And so, and I'll show you when I move the camera down, the potential of work. So I had this idea, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can see it. And then I'm like, what the heck? This is so weird. No one's gonna wanna do this piece of art that looks like a dome. So I put that aside, and then it was literally like 6 o'clock, and I walk into the house. I think I must have gotten takeout. I walked in the house, and I thought, oh my gosh, I have spent the whole entire day trying to create something, and I was forcing it. I was forcing it. And I think we ate, and then I decided, okay, I am going to create a landscape. Thinking, the challenge with the Zoom classes is you have to create a class that is 2 hours, 2.5 hours. You figure a half an hour for chatting and questions and stuff. So you need to make a class that's 2 hours. I want to make a class that I feel like everybody can do. It's not ever technical. They're just fun. It's like literally taking an afternoon away from all of the craziness in our world and just being present with your supplies, your art, and your friends. So I decided, okay, we're going to do a landscape. So that's why, so I came up with this one. And it's just a really sweet easy to do, beautiful landscape that really you could be anywhere. You could be in, and I was telling Karen, you could be in England in the Lake District, or you could, you know, be in any country that has, you know, hills and a lake. And so I wanted to bring the beautiful colors, and I wanted to bring our flowers and somehow create something. So this I finished in 2 hours, and it really is a new tool that we'll be playing with, which is watercolors, and not this live. The live before the Zoom, we're going to do demos on watercolors, so you don't have to ever worry about that. I'm going to show you something too. Anyway, this came up, and I was like, oh yeah. So I also did Neo color 2s are in here, as well as watercolor pencils. Okay, so I really want to tell you how that's like an art brain, where you can sometimes see something and then it's hard to get to that thing. And all I can say is, you know, 90% of the time it's crap, and then 10% of the time you're like, yes. So I think I went to bed going, yes, it's good. Oh my gosh, the pressure. But anyway, so I wanted to chat with you guys today about what we can do with some of the yucky stuff. And I'm going to turn us around, and I'm doing this new way, okay? It's this fancy way. So first I have to click us. Oh shoot, hold on. I got to think about something. Oh, here it is. I have to click us this way. Yes. Okay, I did it. All right. There's my wall. But if I go like this, okay, we're going to go on a little ride. Whoop. Okay. I don't want to screw this up, but let me see if you can see him. Let's see. Wait. He's right there. Scout. Oh, yeah, you sweet boy. Scout is 9 1/4. He's a very good boy. Sometimes. Okay, he's snoring there. All right. Anyway, I was editing the garden party. One of the things that you can do is you can make these at home. These are just mats. And sometimes if you buy some frames, or you have some, you know, photo albums or frames, you can buy these mat, you know, little photo mats and little mat boards. But you can also buy them by themselves in an art store. You can make them super easy. You could actually make them out of paper and just cut a hole. What you need is a hole. That's really all you need. And what it does is it kind of helps you figure out, how do I turn this dome, this hat dome tunnel, into something beautiful? And there are definitely some parts of this that I really like. Like, I really like a little bit of the flowers, but I really like how this ink is starting to look. And how I did the ink too is I took my skewer, it must have been this one, look at it, and then I went like this. I put some ink down like this, and then I took the skewer and I went like that. You can see how I did it. But what happens is you get these beautiful lines, and they're just so pretty because, you know, they're very natural and organic. You're not making these lines by really thinking, okay, I'm going to make my line like this. This is part of, you know, abstract art too. You're just sort of going like this. You don't know what you're going to get. So I take my little cropper and I look around and I think, okay, is there anything in here that I like or that it's worth saving? So I was doing this morning and I'm thinking, you know what? That is so cute, like right there. And having these lines in there, a little bit of the flowers, what I would do next is I would take a pencil and I would draw the outside of this. I would take my X-Acto knife or scissors. I would cut this out, but I wanted to show you, like, if you have areas that are dark. And this works great when you have, when you're doing it on watercolor paper. I would take my little gel pen and you can just start making marks and just doing some beautiful lines with this white pen. You could do that in some areas. Go ahead and put some neos on top. You know, go right into these little flowers right here. So even though you might have something that you don't like, especially if it's on paper, there's so many things you could do. So you could cut this out. Bring it up a little bit more so you can see it. You can cut this out and you could attach it to a card, or you could even put it in, you know, a frame. Now that you have the piece that you like, there's so many possibilities. So that's one thing that could save this piece. You know, think about something that you like, that there's something in this piece that is really beautiful. There's, in all the ugly work, there's something beautiful. Okay, so take this piece, for instance. You know, I like it, but I was trying to come up with a bouquet out of the same style that we did last month. And, you know, introducing different colors, but also maybe bringing in little of these bluebells, little purple bells, actually. So the same thing you could do with this cropper is that you could go in, and then I was thinking, well, that's kind of cute right there. This bottom part of the bouquet, I added some pencil work, and I want to make sure you guys can see that. I see it, but then I think maybe you guys can't even see that. You know, bringing this in and going around and finding areas that you like. Maybe it's just there. You know, just cropped in. Sometimes you can get some beautiful, beautiful work by doing it that way. Maybe it's up here. And there's nothing that's ever left over. So for instance, let's say I cut this up. Then what I could do is, I'm trying to get this all organized. Then what I could do is use this piece and cut this up for a bookmark, or I could make it even smaller and turn it into a hang tag. So many things. I literally have piles of junk. So this is a piece I was doing this summer and it got so busy. I'm like, what the heck? I think there's like so much stuff on here. But maybe I go in and I just take a little section of it. The other thing that, oh, I gotta turn my heater off. Hold on, you guys, I'm roasting. Woo! I come in here at 6 in the morning because it's cold. No, Scout, you sit down. And I'm like, woo. One thing I do a lot, and it's what I'm gonna be doing in our garden party, let me just show you really quick, is another thing. Like, if this was a piece of art that was just too much was on this, then let me show you. The final piece in the garden party has these strips that we make, and they're just beautiful, beautiful strips of art. So what you can do is get out your handy dandy, if you guys don't have one of these these cutting boards, I highly recommend it if you are into collage, because they're not cheap is the problem, but you have them forever. I think I had this one, this is one I had in college. It's totally warped. It's been around forever because I'm forever old. And what I love to do is make strips. And the thing about the cutting boards that is so awesome is it's all, the measurement is done for you because you just follow these guidelines. So I don't have to measure anything. I don't really measure stuff anyway, but let's just say you have some ugly art. Well, here you go. So next time you're doing some collage work, I gotta concentrate when I do that because I have too many X-Acto accidents. Let's say you're doing some collage work. You have some pieces that you could put down onto, let me just show you, onto, where was that, Scouters? Okay, I don't have what I was, oh, here it is. This was just a card I was working on at some point, but you could take your pieces of ugliness and glue them down into beautifulness, you know? So think about never getting rid of your ugly stash of art, okay? So I have plenty. Then let me show you some more. I have like things that are just, I don't even know what. Let's be real, guys. This is pretty butt ugly. But what you could do with your ugliness is you could take some stencils. I've got all these amazing stencils. Actually, this one, I'm not crazy about that color orange, so I've got others. I've got others. Anyway, I have a whole pile of stencils, and you could just go in and put some paint down over this and see what happens. Okay, that's another idea. And then let's just look at this heart that I have here. This heart mess. I really don't know if it can be helped, but I think it can be if we cut it up into tiny, tiny, teeny bits. But anyway, let's say, again, you can take your cropping tool and maybe there's a little section here, or maybe not, that you can find something in here. Like you could cut this part out. You could then even put some collage materials on top. Where are my little collage materials? I had some somewhere, but anyway, you could paint over here. I was gonna do some painting, but you guys get the idea. You can really take anything and create it into something beautiful. And like this is another example of something that I was working on. It really doesn't have there's parts of it that I really love, but there's not. I was really inspired by that one artist I was telling you guys about, Jamie Allen in Hawaii. And I don't want to copy her, but there's parts of her work that I really love. So I'm going to put this heart upside down. I really love her little details, but if I went in with this cropper and just started finding areas that I really, really like, I mean, you could make some beautiful work. So I really just hope that, you know, I just really hope that you guys don't give up. I guess that's what I wanted to say, because you know what, I wanted to give up on Tuesday with some of my art that I was working on, and I got frustrated because I was thinking, I just spent the whole entire day. But then I did come up with something really pretty, and it's really part of the process, even though it's really not fun to go through a time when you're just feeling like nothing is working out. I absolutely 100% recommend taking breaks when you're in a place like that. Let's see what else I have to show you. I have a bigger, I don't know what this is. I think this was a demo or something. But there's always parts that could work. Always. And if it doesn't, like if there was nothing that worked, like this one, if you were like, there's nothing there, then cut that into strips. And before you know it, you have a little pile of strips that you can then add to things, you know? Let's go back to this one for a second. I actually don't think this is gonna work, but you could then go on and add pieces of collage to this little guy. But I also want to chat with you guys about what happens if it's on a canvas. Okay, so I want to talk to you guys about that and talk to you guys about finding your style, because I know that somebody brought that up last week in the group. And that's always hard to do. So look at all of this I have, okay? I've got piles of it, as I'm sure you guys have piles of it too. I just save them all. I just don't throw out anything that's on paper because there's so many things that you can do. Like, look at that beautiful strip. There's so many, you know, look how pretty that is with all the greens and the marks. All right, so I wanted to show you this canvas. I took a class from Betty Krause. Look at that, so pretty. I would say, shoot, it's probably like 3 years now, maybe 2 years. And I love Betty, and she's a friend of mine. And I took this workshop she was doing because she lives close to me in San Jose area, Los Gatos area. And hold on, I'm just clearing my clutter. Hold on. Okay, we're gonna talk about that later. And I did this painting. I don't think it's gonna get all on here, but I wanna show you something. I did this painting that at the time I loved. It's like, oh my God, I love this painting. And then I realized we're gonna actually wait for this. I'm moving my tripod. Okay, hold on. Hopefully I don't lose us all. Oh, and then I want to show you something else down below. I forgot. Okay. All right. It's, I could even go sideways. I think it's good enough that you guys can see what I'm talking about. Okay. So I did this painting. I really liked it. I was super excited when I got home. I was like, oh my God, I love it. And then I realized, oh my God, it looks just like Betty's. So I don't want to look just like Betty. I want to take a class and take what I loved from the class and see what I loved and how I can incorporate that into my own practice. And that's what's really important, especially if you are really trying to find. Now, if you're not trying to find a style and you just love taking classes, by all means, do exactly what the teacher's doing and have fun. I mean, that's the other part of it. Some people take classes to just have fun, and some people take classes to kind of figure out where they are and what their style is. But I wanted to show you something, and I'm doing the same thing I did with the paperwork. You might have a canvas, so you can't really cut up a canvas, but you could certainly take your canvas and look around and see, is there anything on here that I like? Is there any marks that I like that I want to then go and practice and work more in my own style? So I took this cropper and I looked around and I found this little section right here. Let's see if you guys can see it. I'm going to, now it's like a little ride. I'm going to push us down. And so this little area doesn't feel like Betty's as much because I've got my hearts in there and I've got more of a straight line and I like the composition. And so this could be, you know, something that could inspire you for your next painting. You could be thinking, okay, I like this teacher and I like the colors. I like how I did these marks. And so what you can do is take a photo of what you like and, you know, then maybe try to recreate that. Maybe I'll take a big canvas and just try to do something that's like this. And there was definitely some things that Betty did in her class that I love and I'll incorporate and I'll still use, but I don't want my paintings to look just like hers. So the only way to ever get away from, like, isn't that so cute right there? The only way to ever get around that is to keep practicing and keep working. And eventually, every time you look at your art, don't say it's ugly like I just did. I'm only saying it's ugly for today's life. That is it. It was just an example to show you that's it. I don't want to ever us walk around saying our art is ugly, because it's never ugly. But I want you to know that whatever you have that maybe you don't like, there's something in there that you probably would like. And you just keep a note of it, make a sketch, or put it aside and remember, okay, this is what I like. I love these pinks. I love the greens and the turquoise. I love graphite pencil in my work. I love scraping. I love that baby pink. You know, I could go around this whole canvas, and what I'll probably do with this canvas is not paint over it, but paint on top of it. And that's why you guys have heard me say this a zillion million times. I'm not gonna take a white paint and paint over the whole entire thing. I'm not going to do that. But what I might do is I might go in with some beautiful, yummy colors and take that little area that I like down there and kind of work around some more layers in my own, the way I do my own layers. Maybe I'll bring in some of these stencils and make more marks that way. Maybe I'll use it as a first layer for like an elephant or my flowers or a landscape even. You know, maybe I'll turn it this way and do it for, you know, a landscape. So I just wanted you guys to realize that don't fret, and there's always some art available for you, and there's always something there that you can make into something beautiful. Okay, so I wanted to use that as another example too. And then, okay, then I have some other I was not gonna say that word, but somehow it almost slipped out. That would not have been a good oopsie. Okay, so what I wanted to show you is, okay, look what I have. And I have this link in my art page under the resource, and on my, I have some stencil ideas for you guys too. I'm going to talk about that next. I'm going to put it right here. On my art page on AndreaGarvey.com, there is a resource center, and it's where all my links are, mostly to Amazon, because I get like a penny or two from anytime anybody clicks on those products and they buy them. It's called an Amazon link. And some of them aren't Amazon because there aren't any links. And I mean, there aren't any affiliates, but like Nova Colors is on there, and King Art brushes are on there. But what I wanted to show you is, and I'm going to demo this on the Saturday, okay, not next Saturday, but the Saturday after. What is that Saturday? The 23rd, maybe? Something like that. Okay, this is so cute. And I got it on Amazon. And these are little tiny watercolor thingies. I can't even get them out. Not a very good demo. But anyway, they're little tiny, look at the names: hibiscus, ocean, sunset, pineapple. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. But the reason I'm telling you this is because I had a weak moment yesterday and I bought watercolors off this company and they were ridiculously expensive. And I thought, okay, well, that's my birthday present. And but I wanted to tell you, these are only $25. So I'm going to do a demo on these. I'm hoping the other one comes in. I want to do a demo on both so you can see it. But you also do not need to buy at all any watercolors if you have them at home. I have this bullet. Where is it? Where is it? Okay, wait till you see this bullet. Watercolors are so awesome because they last forever. My mom bought me this bullet, and she got me the Mission watercolors, and I literally squeeze little colors on here and take this everywhere I go when I travel. It's called a bullet. Oh, Mom, you're gonna have to tell us. It's a bullet palette. It's indestructible. See, I could be, you know, with the president and somebody's after us and it's bulletproof. Okay, so this goes everywhere with me, and you can just dip your watercolor brush. You can just dip your brush in water and go to town. That's how I came up with this one. So if you're doing the Zoom class, I have a video on my website of the supplies that I used. I also wanted you to know that you don't have to go buy a thing. You should have everything. If you don't have watercolors, then you can look at a little set, or you can find them anywhere. Really, they're easy. And Neo 2s I'm using on here, as well as Woody's, and they're awesome. Am I backwards, Sandra? Oh, darn it. She just told me I'm backwards. I'm not backwards, but that is all backwards because I think when I flipped it. So let's see if I can figure this out the other way. It is Mijello. Maybe you were with my mom when you guys got it. All right, here's some other stuff. Here's some stencils. My favorite stencils, because you guys asked, are from a company called Stencil Girl. It's called Stencil Girl Products. And Stencil Girl products come in big sheets like this, and then you can cut up the big sheets into these little pieces, which I just did. And I am crazy about these stencils over all the others. And the reason is because they are from artists. Like Jean Oliver has some on there now. And like, look how cool that is. You can't really tell because it's all colored, but this is all like writing, and it's so awesome. One day I'd like to have my art on Stencil Girl products. That's my wish list goal to have, because I think they're so cool. So you go online, there's a bazillion to choose from, and you can buy little ones for a few dollars, and then you can buy these big ones, and you could even cut them up. But when I use stencil, I just use parts of stencils. I don't, use the whole entire thing. Like I'll go in and use some of these, and it's stencilgirl.com, stencilgirlproducts.com, I think. And the woman's name is Mary, who started the company, and she's fantastic. And it's a world of information. If you guys are into stencils, or you want to get into stencils, or you've never tried them, she has a website. If you subscribe to her newsletter, she's always giving tips, and they're amazing. And I couldn't say enough amazing things about it, because I, really love using their stencils, and it's just another thing and another layer that you can put on your art. I use stencils a lot in my art. Okay, then what else? I thought there was something else I wanted to share with you. Just a couple things. I spent, you guys, 5 hours yesterday. I'm just going to turn this around. Now we can chit chat. Okay, let's see if I can do this right. All right, so I'm going to go like this. You're going to see, I'm talking to myself, but I'm really talking to you guys too. You can see do you guys see my buffalo hat there in the corner? Now I know we're all backwards, but voila, okay. I'm not backwards. See, this is the right way. So this is the deal with this new tripod thing I have. So it's right reading when it's on me, and then when I flip it, I don't know, you guys, so complicated. So anyway, I spent a long time yesterday thinking about how can I get my classes on my own site and not use a Thinkific site, just because I felt like maybe I could do it. And so I want you to know I'm super proud of myself. I spent 5 hours on the back end trying to figure out coding, and decided, you know what, that's not for me. I think I want to launch my class and move on, but I tried it, anything. But I want to tell you guys something. I am not computer savvy at all. I'm like a tiny bit maybe, but not really. Everything you want to know about anything ever, like if you want to figure out how to make an engine in your car, if you want to figure out how to make a quiche, if you want to figure out how to train your dog, all you do is you literally go into YouTube and you type in the search. I want to learn how to make an engine, and it will show you. And so last night I spent from 5 p.m. I made the kids do takeout till 10 p.m. I put in how to get my classes on my own site, my Wix site, because it's So anyway, I don't even know why I'm telling you guys this because you might think I'm crazy. My point is I wanted to have my garden party class launched by now, but so it's going to launch this week. And this is the main piece that we're going to do. And the fun thing is that I'm making these collage sheets, and I've added some more collage sheets to it. So one of the things that I talk about in the class is how to make your own. And I think it's great to do collage sheets, and you can go get them printed, and they're super inexpensive, and we'll be making all these little cute cards. And the other thing I wanted to show you is on some of these pieces, you look how beautiful this is. I went to Target, and this is a $10 frame. And I wanted to tell you that with a $10 frame, you get this beautiful, I'm gonna put it like here, I'm holding it onto my, like my boob. You get this right here, just does something to a piece of art, that like beautiful, big, thick white border. So another thing is too, when you get your art that you don't love and you crop it into a shape, you can take this piece out of the frame and push it around onto all your paper art and then make that your art. I mean, wouldn't that be amazing? Like, think about if you wanted to give somebody a gift, and you know, everybody loves art as a gift, but $10 frame, Target, you go and you find your ugly art, just today, ugly art, and you crop it out, you sign it, and you put it in a frame. Oh my gosh, it makes everything so beautiful. So, all right. What else? Okay, I think that might be it. I'm like, oh, I'm so hot now. I wanted to tell you that there's a chance. Well, it's a big chance. I'm probably not going to be next Saturday. Oh, wait. I want to tell you the other thing too. We were talking about this last week. I wanted to call my class Watercolor Blooms. I think it was Angela. I'm not 100%, Amanda or Angela, who recommended Watercolor Blooms. And then I realized somebody also told me when you make the watercolor and you have that kind of like outline around the edge, it is called a watercolor bloom. I thought, I didn't know what it was called, and I just found out. So I was so excited. Here's the thing. Alyssa Burke, who I love, she has a class called Watercolor Blooms. So I didn't want to do that. So I might be calling it Watercolors in Bloom. It's not like it's going to be a patent class, but I'm working on that next. Okay, next Friday, I'm going to be 55 in like 2 weeks, and I have to get a colonoscopy because that's just what you do when you get older. There's no reason except for a well check. So that's on Friday. So, you know, be thinking of me on Friday. I've never had one before. Don't know if I want to have it, but I'm going to. So I think Saturday I'll probably just be resting. So I might do a live on Sunday. And will you guys let me know if Sunday is like not even a chance I can do Sunday, or Sunday might be good. It will be the same time. And, oh yes, Sandy, I'm crazy about blooming watercolors. Ooh, yeah, kind of blooming watercolors is a little bit sassy, which I like, you know, like bloomin'. Isn't bloomin' a swear word in Australia? Maybe not. Okay, you guys, I'm so excited you decided to spend your Saturday with me. And then I'll see you next week for sure. Just let me know, and have a great week. And remember, nothing's ugly. There's beauty everywhere. All right? Okay, you guys. Mwah. I'll see you soon. Mean Scout.